Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to round 2 of DDH Afterhours. A couple of things I noticed in the last video. First off, I sounded like I was on the verge of death, incredibly bored, and shouldn't sound like that. Guild Wars is an awesome game, and I enjoy playing it. So, here's my inventory. I did notice the last time I played this, I was making a lot of mistakes. A massive number of mistakes. So many mistakes I don't even want to think about them. Chief among them, I think, was not eating food, and food is very important, especially in World v World, to get that edge. Especially in World v World, especially as a thief in World v World, because if you don't burst them down soon, you're going to be in trouble, and that's tonight's topic, ladies and gentlemen. What to do when you're in trouble? The answer is, as always, GTFO. The thief really is the, if at first you don't succeed, try again class. If you don't get him the first time, run away, come back, and maybe you'll get lucky the second time. So, this is played on server turnover night, which is Friday. So about 3 hours after server turnover, I join in and start off with this Guardian. So Guardians, yeah, pretty much the counter to thieves, especially with the great sword. Mostly because they don't have to aim anything. I mean, look at this guy. He's just popping AoEs, massive circles around him. And I'm on fire the entire time, and fire does not do good for my limited health pool. So, whenever you're in danger, especially as a thief, run away. You can always come back and try again later. Especially if you can, like in this case, my Thieves Guild was not up. If I had Thieves Guild, it's possible that with the extra thieves pounding on him, could have brought him down. However, it was not to be, and silly bear. Here's a soldier. Also, if you look at the buffs at the top of the screen for the soldier, you'll see that this entire time anybody standing here has the buffs from the nearby tower. So, not the best place to be fighting. Almost had this warrior, except he pops into vulnerability, or if he has the trait that does it, one or the other. So here I'm down, and got a shadow set. Fortunately, one of my thieves was still up attacking for a good bit, and for some reason this warrior doesn't know when to stop doing that. So now the warrior's down, and we're both giving up trying to kill each other. Now we're just trying to res ourselves, even though we both know, I'm sure, that if we do that, we'll both get back up. So I get up, I see there was a Guardian. I think it was the same one who came back, so I run. More people run. Oh god, server turnover night is a horrible night to run solo. Alright, again with the Guardians, and again if you look at the top of the screen you'll see in his list of buffs, we're close enough to the tower that he's receiving all the bonuses from whatever guild is holding that tower. Now here, the longer you fight a Guardian, the worse it's going to be, so if you don't beat him pretty quickly, eat through his limited health pool, you just want to leave and try again later. So here, the Guardian's going to chase. So my thought as I'm running through this forest is, if I get enough of these Arctotus, or whatever they are, to just chase me, and then go invisible, then they'll start attacking him, and maybe that'll wear him down. What I didn't realize is that they're also massive projectile blockers. Meanwhile, my god, this Guardian, he's just jumping all over the place, spinning in circles, lighting stuff on fire. Quite the arsonist. And of course he just blocks. And heals. More heals. This is actually the first staff Guardian I've seen that's been really good. And I'm kind of impressed by it. Mostly just because it has that massive AoE fan attack, so even if you go into Shadow Refuge as the thief, you're not going to be safe from that. So, well, this is going sour again, so it's time to run. Jump to the rabbit, use that as my jumping point. is spam Heartseeker to lunge as far as possible. Now, this Guardian's trying to spike me, but the Octurtus... No, wait, these are Minotaurs. Never mind. Octurtus is something else. Ha, blind, miss. Very cool. If you time the blind properly... That was so very freaking clutch. If you time the blind properly as a thief, you can actually stop them from spiking you, which will buy you a lot of time, just long enough to kill that Minotaur and res. Now, go invis, run right by, and off into the distance. He does notice and turn around, but by then, I'm already too far away and I'm free. Alright, now this is up north by the 3 o'clock sentry. And server turnover night. Man, this thing is dangerous. All the good players are out. This Elementalist is just dazed, stunned. My god, I don't know what they're doing. I think it's that air attunement aura they have. Now here, big red circle, run. Do not stand in the middle of that giant earth spiky thing. That would have killed me, I'm quite sure. But this Elementalist is probably one of the more dangerous Elementalists I've ever had to fight. In the end, though, it is an Elementalist, and as a thief, it should favor me. So, one of the few actual kills I get this night. Another Guardian, feeling kinda cautious because of the last two. Quickness actually is not helpful in this situation, because I would rather be hopping back the full distance rather than half the distance, which is what happens when you have quickness and then evade backwards. So I'm trying to kite, but going very slowly, and pops full heal, and in comes an enemy thief, so it's time to get out. However, allies show up, and yeah. Nice finish. And that's a rather cool banner this guy has. Leopard or Jaguar or something. It's a nice touch. Alright, now here is the only simple kill of the entire night. It's just this random warrior out trying to kill this moose. Does manage to pop fear, but he's immobilized because of panic strikes, I believe. So now he's down, and just to add insult to injury, the moose is beating on him. So, sorry guy, sorry moose. Someone had to do it though. And we're off again. Alright, back by the southeast side sentry. We're on Sea of Sorrows borderlands. Sea of Sorrows put out an impressive number of people the first night, although I think their attendance really started to drop immediately after that. So I see this ranger. Now I see there's an ally coming, so I'm just gonna back out for now, but Mesmer fields. God, those are annoying. So I'm just running. See at least 2 names, but I don't know. Mesmer, you can never tell with how many names, how many actual people are there. So, just gonna leave for the moment. See if I can come back. Well, they pretty quickly killed the veteran guard, so I don't want to jump down into that much DPS. So, I'm just gonna observe for now. Patience is key to this playstyle. If you just jump in whenever you see an opportunity, you're probably going to die pretty quickly. If you just wait though and give it a little bit of time, yes, some chances might slip past, but you're a lot less likely to dive into a situation where there is no hope of survival. Here I see the ranger spawned me, but apparently nobody else does. So I'm just gonna stand here for a while. I pull out the short bow and shoot him a couple of times. Let myself be hit. This is intentional. So that they'll feel, yeah, I've got a good shot at this. Actually, I'm getting hit a lot more than I want it to be. But now I'll drop thieves, jump down, and try to nuke her down before she can run. Which works, except for she pops invulnerability, which I did not know rangers had. I knew their pets did, but I did not know that rangers could do this. Now that Mesmer from before is back. I've downed it, so I'm going to try and Shadow Refuge when I go down. And I auto-attack, so I come on invisible, which kinda sucks. Fortunately, even though it looks like a bunch of people, it's actually just the Mesmer. And this person's pretty weak because my Thieves Guild was still up whacking on them. So I'm just gonna take my kill and run. It does not look like the Mesmer is interested in chasing. I wonder if she actually suffered more damage than I thought they did there. But it's another character. I think it's a thief, so I'm just gonna run and come back later. Alright, now I'm trying to cap this point. For some reason there's a bug and the circle will not show up. I'm actually standing in the middle of a green circle, trying to cap it before this ranger interrupts me. But this not a ranger, this is a warrior, of course. He just hit me hard. I'm pretty sure that was an axe eviscerate ability. But I was inside Shadow Refuge and cloaked before he fired the rifle. So I went down, but he doesn't know it. He thinks I'm still lurking somewhere. He doesn't realize I went down. So now I'm up, I'm gonna run. And that shout is scary, actually. On my mark, 10 stacks of vulnerability, 10% bonus damage, and a neat little effect underneath your feet that shows that you've been targeted. It's kind of terrifying, in all honesty, especially after being hit by that eviscerate. I see him. He's still chasing, and I have Thieves Guild up, so I figure yeah, it's worth a shot. So steal from him, use his ability. In terms of fighting thieves, warriors really are their own worst enemy. If you steal from a warrior, that's probably the most damage that you're going to do to them the entire time. Will be using the whirling axes on them. However, Thieves Guild is expired. He's still at half health, and every time he shouts, he heals. So his sustain is just going to be on a level far above mine, so I'm just going to leave him alone and go back to my spot. He just goes off chasing shadows for the rest of the night, probably. I can hope. He's from the guild Applied Tactics, and I've seen some very skilled players fielded by them, so I'm kind of impressed. So looking through my inventory, and here comes a warrior. This one obviously has an axe this time. Wasn't sure last time. He perfectly blocks that whirling axes with his shield block. I try and lure him in so that he'll just walk into the blindness and I'll just trade blows with him there. But he doesn't want to do that. He's got shouts. Most warriors I've seen have been running shouts. I guess they're just the AoE heals. It's too good to pass up. No. He's at half health. So I try kiting a little with the short bow, but then he heals, and he heals for a pretty good amount. It's always discouraging to fight other classes because you just see the list of buffs they receive. That soldier and just, oh god, the shield bash into the face is just not a fun experience. Now I'm invisible, but I notice he's at like 2/3 health, so I immobilizing arrow him. Switch to more powerful weapons, steal, get them. I think I might have had him there if he hadn't popped invulnerability and blocked some of my more damaging attacks. But he did, so now we're back to trading, and he has shield bash up, so I don't want to fight him now. So that axe probably could have killed me. So now I'm going to run and try again later. So, quick reversal. He doesn't realize it at first, so I'm just going to run it out. He does figure it out, and there's not really a whole lot of places to hide up here. It's pretty open. So I'm just going to run as far away from him as I can before trying to break line of sight. So here, probably should just ran off the cliff. Probably saw me when I decided to double back around that corner. So he comes over. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? Eh, not much. So now he fears me out of the circle, which is a really good move by him. So now it's just full on run for your life moment. Double infiltrator's arrow, steal to the sentry, use the feathers to go invis, hide behind the pillar for a second. He's still chasing, but he's way back, so I'm pretty much in the clear. But now I look behind and incoming gerbil. Oh god. Server turnover night is just, there's always someone there. Use reverse shadow step to get back to where I was. But by now the other soldier has caught up. Warrior. I suppose they are a soldier class, but still. The warrior, now I have 2 warriors on me.
Eat my dust.
And, so I'm just gonna switch tactics and try and make it through this canyon up ahead. I noticed that he's losing a lot of health though, so I look back. Hey, there's a commander! Getting swarmed, have fun with that. So, I see a couple people jumped off the cliff to give chase, so off the hillside, through the canyon, over the hills to grandmother's house we go. And as soon as you break line of sight, a thief is pretty good at getting away. Now here, I just gave up fighting that thief. I didn't want to fight that thief in the first place. I was actually going for the Applied Tactics Commander thief. But he ran away, and that thief was like his personal bodyguard or something. He just would not stay off me after I tried to kill him. This warrior has some very good timing, especially on his stuns and his knockdowns. Every time I try to do a really damaging attack, he'll block it, he'll stun, he'll knock down. It's quite impressive. So here I try to do the trade while he's blinded technique. Not a whole lot of crits, so it doesn't really go so well. I see that he's an ally coming up, so it's just time to book it again. Now, he's giving chase. I notice that he's still chasing me and that there are no other allies nearby. So, now my Thieves Guild has come back up. So, I think I'll just pop it and turn on him. Crippling arrow, steal, use his whirling axes, but it doesn't really hit because, first off, I don't activate it while I'm beside him, and then he gets pulled past me. But fortunately, he is taking a lot of damage. He's immobilized. I try and stab him, however, block, it's annoying. Good use of the shield though. However, in the end, I do manage to get the backstab off on him. My thief is still shooting him, and I have enough to invisi-spike him. And remember, it's server turnover night, so it's time to run. Here comes some Sea of Sorrow people. This thief you will see again, I believe in the next clip. But they're giving chase, so I just use the teleport and scurry away. Here's that same thief from before. Apparently he hung around a bit too long. He managed to evade, but right before he goes invis, you can see that he had the purple immobilized chains on him, so he was stuck there. There's nothing he could do about that. So between the great sword just doing whatever the heck it does that just completely destroys your health, and a quickness proc, dagger stabbings, yeah, that thief is gone. Here this Mesmer actually is not receiving any buffs from nearby tower, which is good. However, they do have the invisible thing, and I'm taking damage from bleeds, from I'm not sure what else. But light armor classes, usually, as long as you can identify the Mesmer, they're not too much of a problem. If you don't know which one's the Mesmer, though, you're in trouble. So that's it for this week's installment. A little bit shorter in terms of number of encounters, but definitely some interesting encounters. Here was the event. Cooked lobster.